Coming up, biggest auto expert giveaway ever. One lucky viewer, perhaps you, will walk away with one of these babies, the mighty Bluetti AC200P 2 kilowatt hour portable power station. Details next. I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au, and I get new cars cheap for buyers here in Australia. Website for that, there's there. Or you can just click the card that's dude. Now, the dudes at Bluetti just reached out to me and they kind of said, how do you feel about the AC200P? And I said, well, I've been playing with it for some months. And they said, well, they're having a big sale that ends on the 14th of March with discounts across the range, essentially, and we'd like to give one of those to your viewers. And I went, okay. So I've reviewed this in some depth a couple of months ago now, it was, before Christmas anyway, and I'll put a link, maybe, if I remember to get around to it, just up there, or you could go to my channel and just put Bluetti, B-L-U-E-T-T-I, into the search window and see what pops up. It'll be this. Anyway, I've been really happy with this. It's a great solution, especially when the power goes down. We had one, I don't know, we were halfway through cooking some convoluted slow cook thing and the power went down and there was no resolution time frame of, in course, right? So I've trudged upstairs with this, and trust me, with this, you trudge upstairs. Anyway, so up the stairs I go, we plug it in, the slow cooker just goes for like another, I don't know, 90 minutes or something, and we've still got K's on the clock sort of thing, and the power comes back up, so happy days. Anyway, it can really get you out of a jam on the home front. They're super convenient for sort of extended trips, and there is a lot of electrical grunt in this thing. There's 2 kilowatt hours, and I know everyone in the universe is like, well, what is that? It's all a bit strange. Kilowatt hours. I mean, they are on your electricity bill, right? But they don't really have meaning in the way that I weigh 82 kilos or 75 or 96, whatever it is. That has meaning. You can contextualize that. 180 centimetres tall or 160 centimetres tall. You can go, like that, right? Kilowatt hours is really strange. But to put it in perspective, I'd say, look at the RAV4 hybrid, okay? Insanely popular, delivery time frames well over the horizon at this point. Like, order today, you'll get one in 13 or 14 months' time if you're lucky. So that's got a 1.6 kilowatt hour battery, okay? So the battery in this baby is 25% bigger than the battery in the RAV4 hybrid. And there's more ways to use this battery. There's USB out, there's several USB ports. There's a couple of conventional Australian 240 volt 10 amp ports. You can draw a maximum of 2 kilowatts out of it, so that's pretty convenient as well. You can overload it briefly without it shutting down on you, but it self-protects after a bit if you try to draw too much current. There's, you know, USBs here, and there's various 12 volt output sort of solutions here, and there's a high-powered USB, a USB-C that I think is 100 watts, but don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I reviewed it. And also you got your Siggy lighter type port here. You turn it on with a big silver button, and there's a couple of those inductive charge pads so that if you've got your phone and you just want to charge it wirelessly, you can whip it out on there and it'll just, you don't have to plug it in, it'll just charge up. Okay, so that's the AC200P. The principal disadvantage of which is carrying it, dude, because it weighs like 27 kilos. So you're not going to be sort of running around the footy oval with it over your head like this for too long before that gets old. But I guess there's a hell of a lot of energy on tap, and the price you pay for that is the weight. And they also sent me this somewhat smaller EB55, they call it, and I'm halfway through putting my review of it together. But if you just want the salient highlights here, it's got one wireless charge pad on top. It's got the 4 USBs, just like this one, plus the high power USB. And they say that it will charge a variety of sort of MacBooks in that sort of 1.5 to 2 hour time frame through the high-powered USB port, which is 100 watts. You've got your two 240 volt, 10 amp sort of GPO outlets here. There's your 4 USBs. You've got a couple of 12 volts as well. In fact, you've got more than a couple. I'll just check my notes out on that. You've got two 12 volt DC 10 amps, and you've got one regulated 12 volt port as well. And this is such a convenient unit for, you know, picnicking or overnight camping with the kids or something, and they've got sundry appliances, and you can run around the oval with that over your head, no problem. It's got this little carry handle here, and it is, you know, virtually child's play. The kids could carry that, although you've got to be a bit careful with batteries. I'd make sure I was giving it to a responsible one. They both come with 240 volt chargers as well. You plug them into the wall. They're pretty big chargers with a lot of grunt, so it doesn't take that long to charge each one up. And now, in terms of the pricing, okay, this is current list price $3,299 Australian dollars, so that's about free in other currencies. And this one is, let me just check, $16.99 list price. But during the sale until the 14th of March, this baby can be yours for $2,399, so that's like $900 off notionally. And this baby can be yours for about half price, so from $16.99 down to $8.49, which is miraculously good value in my estimation. So look, if you've got your 4x4 and you want to go out to, not necessarily to Dingo Piss Creek, because that is a full-on adventure. We're not probably talking Canning, Stock Route, Simpson. We might be talking Simpson Desert, but not Gibson Desert or Great Sandy Desert kind of adventuring, right? If you just wanted a portable unit as opposed to wiring in a dual battery setup with all that hardwired componentry, then this is brilliant, because you might have access to a ute and a 4x4 wagon, and you might use them for different duties. You might take one camping with the kids, and you might take one on expeditions, whatever. Then you can just shift this from one to the other, or this from one to the other, and you don't have to go through double the expenditure of hardwiring all that componentry in. And if you're nearing the end of your lease and you want to do a few trips and you're going to get another 4x4, you don't have to do all of that hard wiring and then kiss it goodbye when you say sayonara to outgoing 4x4 and hello to incoming 4x4 and do it all again. So to me, this is a pretty, you know, obsolescence-proof option if you're in the market for this kind of thing, right? You can also carry it from your 4x4 to your boat. That's pretty cool. You can move it from your 4x4 into your caravan when you're towing your caravan, if that's your kick. Okay, so there's all of these kinds of versatility built into these components, and I reckon they're worth a shot, because I've been playing with this one for months now, and it's never let me down. It's been utterly robust, and I've had a few tests with the power tools. You know, I've plugged in the big bandsaw just down there out of the shot. I've cut a few bits of metal up with it just for kicks, and it's fine. You know, anything under that 2 kilowatt sort of limit, it just handles it with aplomb. And as long as it doesn't take an hour to do whatever you're doing, it's going to tolerate that just fine. And we have had a fairly unpleasant summer with very high humidity. It's been quite hot on a few days, and the unit has been, you know, totally robust in those environments. I haven't had such a big long play with this one, having not had it for quite as long, but I think the same design philosophy pertains, and the main difference in the price is clearly the size of the battery. This one here is 537 watt hours, so roughly just a bit over a quarter the size of the battery in this one, and that accounts for the price difference. And what you're obviously getting here is a ton of portability. Like, you can carry it one-handed and it doesn't really matter, whereas this one is a significant effort to pick up and move around, because it's at arm's length and whatever it is, 60 pounds or something. So anyway, I'll put a link in the description to all of that. And if you'd like to win your own AC200P to be in the running, here's all you got to do, right? You've got to be in Australia, because they're not going to ship it overseas for you. And you just have to tell me in the comments why you like the unit and what you're going to use it for and why you deserve it, dude. So let me have it in the comments, and I'm arbitrarily going to decide whose answer is the best? And the best answer is gonna get it. Now, in 10 days' time, whatever that is, early in March, say, I think it's gonna be like the 6th or the 7th, whatever, it's in the dairy, I will post the review of the EB55 and also announce the Australian winner of the AC200P. And this is just one small thing that Bluetti and I can do together to help make Australia less shit. And I think you'd agree after the last couple of years with a monkey as Prime Minister who's sort of failed repeatedly the banana peeling test, but still managed to throw his shit at everyone without it sticking to him once. Isn't it funny how monkeys can always do that? Anyway, with these years of relative shitness that we've had, isn't it nice that something such as this could flow into a fat cave such as yours, potentially, and all you've got to do is comment, dude, and live in Australia, and be half creative about it, and think about the kind of thing that might appeal to me, comment-wise. I'll put Tiffany's number in the description too, and you can give her a call and she can go into great lengths telling you the kinds of things that I like. Anyway, won't that be nice to end up with your own AC200P? Link in the description to the Bluetti sale also, because they have a range of units betwixt this one and this baby, and you might find one in the middle somewhere that's just right for you.